The story begins in complete silence, the kind of silence that existed long before humans, long before animals, even before the first breath of life. Imagine floating slowly above a dark, endless space, where stars glow softly like distant candles. In the center of this quiet universe, a small blue sphere turns gently, almost like it is breathing. This is Earth, not loud, not dramatic, but calm, patient, and ancient. Long before it became our home, Earth was already telling stories, slow stories written in stone, heat, and time. Earth is about 4.5 billion years old, and that number is so large that the human mind struggles to hold it. If Earth's entire life were a single day, humans would appear only in the last few seconds before midnight. Everything before that passed in silence, layer by layer, moment by moment. Mountains rose and disappeared, oceans formed and vanished, and continents drifted like sleepy giants across the planet's surface. Nothing rushed. Earth never hurries. At the very beginning, Earth was not blue or green. It was a burning world, glowing red with heat, constantly bombarded by rocks from space. The surface was molten, like a vast ocean of fire. Yet even in that chaos, the future was quietly forming. As Earth slowly cooled, a thin crust hardened, like skin forming over a wound. This crust cracked and moved, creating the first foundations of continents. What feels solid under our feet today is actually always moving, just extremely slowly, at the speed fingernails grow. Deep beneath the surface, Earth is still alive. The core burns hotter than the surface of the sun, even now. This heat drives invisible movements inside the planet, causing tectonic plates to drift, collide, and pull apart. When plates meet, mountains rise. When they separate, new land is born from fire. Earth reshapes itself endlessly, but so slowly that it feels eternal. This slow rhythm is one of the most comforting truths of Earth science. Change is constant, but gentle. Water, the source of calm and life, did not always belong to Earth. Scientists believe much of Earth's water came from icy comets and asteroids that collided with the young planet. Over millions of years, rain fell endlessly, filling low places, creating oceans. Imagine rain falling for thousands of years without stopping, slowly turning fire into reflection, chaos into calm. Today, oceans cover more than 70% of Earth, regulating temperature, carrying heat, and whispering stories to the shores. The rocks beneath us are Earth's memory. Every layer tells a story of a different time. Some layers formed under ancient seas, others under deserts, others beneath forests that no longer exist. Fossils sleep inside these layers, preserved moments of life frozen in stone. When we study Earth science, we are not just studying rocks. We are reading Earth's diary, written patiently over billions of years. Even the air we breathe is part of Earth's slow science. Earth's atmosphere formed gradually, shaped by volcanic gases and later transformed by tiny life forms that released oxygen. For a long time, oxygen was poison to most life. But Earth adapted as it always does. Over time, the sky turned blue, the air became breathable, and life learned new ways to exist. The atmosphere now acts like a soft blanket, protecting the planet, keeping it warm, and allowing sleep, dreams, and quiet nights. Day and night themselves are gifts of Earth science. Earth spins steadily, once every 24 hours, never stopping, never speeding up suddenly. This rotation creates the rhythm of light and darkness that calms living beings. Night is not just the absence of day. It is a natural pause, a reminder that rest is built into the planet itself. Even Earth seems to rest, turning gently in the dark. Gravity holds everything together without effort. It keeps oceans from floating away and keeps us connected to the ground. Gravity is silent and constant, like a lullaby you stop noticing because it has always been there. Earth's gravity is just strong enough to hold life, but not so strong that movement becomes difficult. This balance is not loud or dramatic. It is quiet perfection. As we fall asleep listening to these stories, it becomes clear that Earth science is not about explosions and disasters alone. It is about patience, balance, and time so vast that worry feels small. Earth has survived ice ages, fire ages, and endless change. It continues to spin, breathe, and reshape itself, calmly and quietly, inviting us to slow down and rest within its rhythm. And as this section ends, Earth continues its journey through space, carrying oceans, mountains, and sleeping minds along with it, preparing the next story hidden beneath the surface, waiting to be gently revealed. As Earth continues its quiet journey through space, it does something that feels almost alive. It breathes not with lungs, but with cycles so slow and deep that they take millions of years to complete. These cycles shape climates, move oceans, and gently rewrite the surface of the planet. In Earth science, nothing truly disappears. It only changes form, resting for a while before returning in a new shape. One of the calmest truths about Earth is that its surface is never still. Continents feel permanent to us, but they are travelers. Long ago, all land was joined together as one vast supercontinent. Over unimaginable time, this giant landmass slowly cracked and drifted apart. No sound marked the separation, no sudden break, just a gradual, patient movement, slower than sleep itself. Today's oceans were once dry land, and today's mountains were once hidden beneath ancient seas. The movement of tectonic plates creates a gentle tension beneath the planet's surface. Most of the time, this movement is silent and smooth. Plates slide past each other without anyone noticing. Occasionally, the tension releases in a sudden shift and the ground shakes. But even earthquakes are part of Earth's natural breathing, a release of pressure that has been building for centuries. Afterward, the planet settles again into quiet motion. Volcanoes are often seen as symbols of destruction, yet in Earth science, they are also creators. Volcanoes build land, release gases that form atmospheres, and fertilize soil with minerals. Lava flows slowly, glowing softly in the dark, like the planet dreaming in fire. When lava cools, it becomes rock, adding another layer to Earth's long memory. Over time, life returns, covering hardened lava with green calm. The surface of Earth is shaped not only by fire, but by water. Rain falls gently, carving valleys one drop at a time. Rivers flow patiently toward the sea, carrying stories from mountains to oceans. A river never rushes. It follows gravity, bending around obstacles, choosing the easiest path. Over thousands of years, rivers can carve canyons so vast they seem impossible. This is Earth's quiet power, strength without noise. Oceans themselves are in constant motion, even when they appear still. Beneath the surface, currents move warm water and cold water around the planet, balancing temperatures and supporting life. These currents act like Earth's circulation system, carrying heat slowly and steadily. Without them, nights would be colder, days would be harsher, and sleep would feel less peaceful. The ocean's movement is one of the planet's most important lullabies. Ice also plays a gentle role in shaping Earth. During ice ages, massive glaciers slowly advanced, covering land in silence. As they moved, they smoothed mountains, carved valleys, and reshaped entire regions. When the climate warmed, the ice retreated just as quietly, leaving behind lakes, fertile soil, and open landscapes. Ice does not rush. It arrives, rests, and leaves when the time is right. The climate of Earth is not fixed. It shifts slowly through long cycles influenced by the planet's orbit, tilt, and distance from the sun. These changes happen over tens of thousands of years, far beyond a human lifetime. Seasons themselves are a small reflection of this larger rhythm. Summer warms, winter cools, and between them lies balance. Earth teaches patience through repetition. Deep underground, minerals grow slowly, crystal by crystal. Some gemstones take millions of years to form, hidden in darkness, untouched by light. They are born not through speed, but through pressure and time. When humans discover them, they feel rare and precious, yet Earth created them calmly, without effort. This is another reminder that value often comes from stillness. Even soil, something so ordinary, is a product of long, quiet processes. Rock breaks down into smaller pieces through wind, water, and temperature changes. Dead plants return nutrients to the ground. Tiny organisms work endlessly, unseen, turning decay into life. Soil is Earth's soft surface layer, a place where endings become beginnings. It holds the promise of forests, fields, and gentle growth. When night falls and the planet turns away from the sun, Earth cools slightly, resting before the next day. Temperatures drop, winds slow, and the surface relaxes. This daily rhythm mirrors the much larger cycles happening over millions of years. Rest is written into the planet's design. Earth does not fight change. It flows with it. As we drift deeper into this story, it becomes clear that Earth science is a study of calm persistence. The planet does not panic. It adjusts. It does not hurry. It waits. Every mountain, ocean, and grain of sand exists because Earth allowed time to do its work. And in that patience, there is comfort. Earth continues to breathe slowly beneath us, carrying ancient memories and future possibilities, quietly preparing the next chapter of its endless, soothing story. As Earth turns quietly beneath the stars, time settles into the planet like a deep sleep. Unlike human time, measured in seconds and minutes, Earth's time is slow and heavy. It moves in layers, pressed gently one upon another, forming stone. Every rock you see is not just matter, but a memory, a moment from a world that no longer exists. Sedimentary rocks are Earth's storytellers. They form when sand, mud, and tiny fragments of older rocks settle slowly at the bottom of seas, lakes, and rivers. Over thousands and then millions of years, these layers are pressed together, hardened by pressure and patience. Each layer marks a different era, like pages in a book that was never meant to be read quickly. Scientists learn to listen to these layers, reading Earth's past without waking it. Some rocks began as fire. Deep beneath the surface, molten material cools slowly, forming igneous rocks. When this cooling happens deep underground, crystals grow large and clear, given time to arrange themselves perfectly. When lava cools quickly on the surface, the rock becomes smooth and fine. Both are born from the same fire, yet their stories differ, shaped by where they were allowed to rest. Metamorphic rocks are transformed by quiet pressure. They begin as something else, sedimentary or igneous, and slowly change deep underground. Heat and pressure rearrange their structure without melting them, like a dream reshaping a thought. Marble begins as limestone, soft and ordinary, and becomes something strong and beautiful. Change does not always destroy. Sometimes it refines. Fossils sleep inside rocks, preserved echoes of life. A leaf pressed into mud, a shell buried under sand, a footprint left in soft earth. Over time, these impressions harden and become stone, locking a single moment into eternity. Fossils remind us that life has come and gone many times before us, quietly, without announcement. They are Earth's way of remembering. Mountains rise not in moments, but in ages. When tectonic plates slowly collide, the land folds and lifts upward. This movement can take tens of millions of years, yet the result feels permanent and powerful. Even so, mountains are not forever. Wind, rain, and ice slowly wear them down, returning stone to dust. Earth builds and erases with equal calm. Canyons tell stories of water and patience. A river begins as a small flow, barely noticeable. Over time, it cuts deeper into the land, grain by grain. The canyon grows not through force, but through consistency. This is one of Earth science's gentlest lessons. Persistence shapes the world more than power. Deserts, often thought of as empty, are rich with quiet history. Sand dunes shift slowly with the wind, changing shape every night. Beneath the surface lie layers of ancient rivers, seas, and forests. What appears dry and lifeless once held flowing water and green life. Earth never forgets, even when the surface looks still. Deep below the oceans, new crust is born. At mid-ocean ridges, molten rock rises, cools, and spreads outward, pushing older crust away. This process is slow and silent, happening far beneath waves and darkness. The ocean floor is constantly renewing itself, younger than most continents. Even in the deepest places, Earth is still creating. Meteorites that fall to Earth bring pieces of the universe with them. Some are older than Earth itself, formed before the sun fully existed. When they land, they become part of the planet's story, blending space and stone. Earth science reminds us that our planet is not separate from the universe, but gently connected to it. Every pebble underfoot has traveled. It may have fallen from a mountain, rolled through a river, rested in the sea, and returned to land. Its edges smooth with each journey. Stones teach us about softness gained through motion, about how even the hardest things can change shape when given enough time. As night deepens and the world grows quieter, Earth continues writing time into stone. It does not rush to finish the story. It allows each chapter to form slowly, trusting that patience will give it meaning. And somewhere beneath our feet, new layers are forming even now, waiting for a future that has not yet arrived. Water moves across Earth like a soft melody, never stopping, never repeating in exactly the same way. It falls from the sky, flows across land, sinks into the ground, and rises again, completing a cycle so gentle that most of it happens without being noticed. In Earth science, water is not just a substance. It is a traveler endlessly wandering, shaping the planet as it goes. High above the surface, invisible water vapor drifts through the air. When it cools, it gathers into clouds, floating calmly across the sky. These clouds are not heavy with urgency. They move slowly, carried by winds that circle the planet. When the time is right, rain begins to fall, drop by drop, returning water to the land below. Each drop follows gravity quietly, without resistance. Rain does not strike the earth with force. It touches the ground softly, soaking into soil, feeding roots, and filling underground spaces. Some water flows gently into streams, joining others to form rivers. These rivers rarely move in straight lines. They curve and wander, choosing paths of least resistance, teaching us that progress does not require struggle. As rivers travel, they carry tiny pieces of the land with them. Sand, silt, and minerals are lifted and transported, reshaping landscapes grain by grain. Over time, this slow movement can change the face of continents. Valleys deepen, floodplains widen, and deltas grow at the edges of seas. All of this happens patiently, without sound. Beneath the surface, water continues its quiet journey. It seeps into cracks and pores in rock, filling underground reservoirs known as aquifers. These hidden stores of water move very slowly, sometimes taking thousands of years to travel a few kilometers. When humans draw water from deep wells, they are often touching rain that fell long before cities existed. Oceans hold most of Earth's water, vast and steady. From the surface, they reflect the sky, calm and endless. Below, they are layered by temperature and density, creating gentle movements that carry nutrients and heat. These slow currents help regulate Earth's climate, smoothing extremes, allowing life to rest within stable patterns. Waves rise and fall in a steady rhythm, shaped by wind and distant storms. Even when waves appear strong, their motion is circular, not forward. Water rises, falls, and returns, never truly leaving its place. This motion is soothing to the human mind because it mirrors Earth's larger cycles of repetition and return. Ice is water at rest. In cold regions, water freezes and becomes still, storing time within its structure. Glaciers move, but so slowly that their motion is almost invisible. As they advance, they shape the land gently, pressing and smoothing rather than breaking. When they melt, they release water back into rivers and seas, continuing the cycle. Snow covers the earth like a blanket, insulating soil and protecting life beneath. It reflects sunlight, helping regulate temperature. When it melts, it releases water gradually, feeding rivers in a controlled, calming way. Snow teaches Earth the value of slow release, of holding and letting go at the right moment. Even the air carries water in unseen forms. Humidity changes how the world feels, softening heat and quieting cold. Dew forms on grass during cool nights, returning water directly to the ground without drama. These small movements are easy to overlook, yet they are essential parts of Earth's balance. Over millions of years, water has been Earth's most gentle sculptor. It wears down mountains, fills oceans, and supports every form of life. It does not rush its work. It repeats the same actions again and again, trusting time to shape the outcome. As this chapter closes, water continues its endless journey, falling, flowing, resting and rising once more. The planet listens to its rhythm, steady and calm, and moves with it, inviting all who live here to slow down and follow the same peaceful pace. Air surrounds the Earth like a gentle embrace, invisible yet always present. It moves without being seen, touches everything without asking, and carries warmth, sound, and life across the planet. In Earth science, the atmosphere is not empty space. It is a living system, quietly protecting and shaping the world beneath it. Earth's atmosphere formed slowly, released from deep inside the planet through volcanic breaths. Over time, gases gathered and wrapped around the surface, creating layers that now stretch far into space. These layers work together silently, filtering sunlight, blocking harmful radiation, and keeping temperatures comfortable enough for rest and life. The air we breathe is mostly nitrogen, calm and stable, mixed with oxygen that fuels movement and thought. Oxygen was not always present in large amounts. Tiny life forms in ancient oceans slowly released it, changing the atmosphere over millions of years. This transformation happened so gradually that the planet adjusted without disruption, adapting smoothly to a new balance. Wind is air in motion, driven by gentle differences in temperature and pressure. Warm air rises slowly, cool air drifts in to replace it, and the cycle continues. Most winds are soft and steady, whispering through trees and across plains. Even strong winds begin as quiet movements, growing only when given time and space. High above, jet streams flow like invisible rivers, guiding weather systems across continents. These currents move steadily, rarely noticed, yet they influence storms, rainfall, and calm skies. Earth's atmosphere behaves like a thoughtful guide, redirecting energy rather than allowing it to gather suddenly. Clouds form when air cools and releases moisture, creating shapes that drift slowly across the sky. They are never in a hurry. Some clouds stretch thin and quiet, others rise tall and deep, yet all eventually dissolve, returning their water to the air. Clouds remind us that nothing in Earth science is permanent, and that change can be soft. The atmosphere acts like a blanket at night, trapping heat and preventing the planet from becoming too cold. Without it, nights would be harsh and unforgiving. This gentle warming allows temperatures to drop slowly, creating peaceful evenings and cool mornings. Earth rests more easily because of this invisible layer. Sound travels through air, carried gently from one place to another. The quiet rustle of leaves, distant waves, and soft winds exist because air allows vibration to move calmly through space. Even silence feels deeper when wrapped in air, because it holds the possibility of sound without demanding it. The sky's blue color is created by sunlight scattering through air molecules. This soft blue light calms the mind, signaling safety and openness. At sunset, the air filters light differently, creating warm colors that slow human thought and invite rest. These daily changes are Earth's way of easing the transition from activity to sleep. Breathing itself is a rhythm shared between humans and the planet. Air enters and leaves, again and again, mirroring the slow cycles found everywhere in Earth science. We breathe without thinking, just as Earth maintains its atmosphere without effort. This shared rhythm connects us quietly to the planet beneath our feet. Over long periods, Earth adjusts its atmosphere naturally. Gases are absorbed by oceans, released by plants, and stored in rocks. This balance shifts gently, never abruptly, allowing life to adapt. Earth does not force change. It introduces it slowly, giving everything time to settle. As night deepens, the air cools, becoming still and heavy. Sounds soften, winds calm, and the planet exhales. The atmosphere continues its silent work, protecting, balancing, and comforting. Wrapped in air, Earth turns once more toward the stars, carrying its living surface through another peaceful rotation. Far away in space, the sun burns steadily, not in bursts, but in a calm, constant flow of energy. This light travels for minutes through the quiet darkness before reaching Earth, where it touches the planet softly. In Earth science, sunlight is not harsh or demanding. It is a patient giver, warming, guiding, and sustaining life without ever asking for attention. When sunlight reaches Earth, it spreads unevenly across the surface. Near the equator, It arrives more directly, warming the land and sea deeply. Toward the poles, it arrives at a gentler angle, spreading out and cooling. This simple difference creates Earth's climate zones, shaping winds, oceans, and ecosystems slowly over time. Earth's tilt adds another layer to this gentle relationship. As the planet orbits the sun, its tilted axis causes seasons to shift. Summer leans toward the light, winter leans away, and between them lie soft transitions. Seasons do not change suddenly. They blend into one another, teaching patience through gradual transformation. Daylight warms the surface, while night allows it to release heat back into space. This daily exchange keeps temperatures balanced. Without night, Earth would overheat. Without day, it would freeze. Together, they create a rhythm that feels natural, predictable, and calming. Earth science shows us that balance is built from opposites working together. Sunlight interacts with the atmosphere in quiet ways. Some light is reflected back into space by clouds and ice, preventing excessive warming. Some is absorbed by land and oceans, stored gently and released later. This careful filtering keeps Earth comfortable, like curtains adjusting the brightness of a room. Plants respond to sunlight with slow precision. Through photosynthesis, they capture light and turn it into energy, forming the base of nearly all life on Earth. This process happens silently, leaf by leaf, without urgency. Forests grow because sunlight arrives every day, reliably and calmly. Oceans absorb vast amounts of solar energy, warming slowly during the day and releasing heat at night. This makes coastal regions more stable, protecting them from extreme temperatures. Water remembers the sun's touch and shares it gradually, smoothing Earth's daily mood. Even weather begins with sunlight. Differences in heating create gentle movements in air and water, leading to clouds, winds, and rain. Most weather is mild, passing quietly across the landscape. Storms, when they occur, are simply intense expressions of the same energy, eventually fading back into calm. Sunrise and sunset are Earth's daily moments of reflection. Light changes color, shadows stretch, and the world slows. These transitions signal rest and renewal, not through force, but through beauty. The planet uses light to guide behavior gently, encouraging activity and then calm. Over long periods, changes in the sun's energy influence Earth's climate. Slight variations can shift temperatures, ice coverage, and sea levels. These changes unfold slowly, giving life time to adapt. Earth science reveals that even powerful forces act with restraint. As night returns, the sun's light slips away, leaving behind stored warmth and fading colors. Earth does not cling to the light. It lets go, trusting that the sun will return. Wrapped in darkness, the planet cools, settles, and rests, continuing its quiet orbit through space. Earth remembers everything even when it seems to forget. Its memory is written in ice, oceans, soil, and stone, stored patiently across vast stretches of time. Climate is not just the weather of today. It is the slow average of countless days, layered gently like a dream repeating itself in slightly different forms. Long before humans recorded temperatures, Earth was already keeping track. Deep in polar ice, tiny bubbles of ancient air are trapped, preserved from thousands of years ago. These frozen memories hold the composition of the atmosphere, revealing how warm or cold the planet once was. Ice does not hurry. It stores history quietly. Oceans also hold climate memory. Cold water sinks, warm water rises, creating slow-moving currents that travel around the globe. These currents can take centuries to complete a single journey. As they move, they carry heat and influence climate far from where the water first warmed. The ocean remembers the sun's warmth long after the light has faded. Rings inside ancient trees tell another story. Each ring marks a year of growth, thicker during gentle seasons, thinner during harsh ones. Tree rings are Earth's soft handwriting, showing years of rain, drought, warmth, and cold. Even when forests fall, their stories remain preserved in wood. Climate shifts happen slowly, guided by changes in Earth's orbit, tilt, and distance from the sun. These cycles unfold over tens of thousands of years, shaping ice ages and warmer periods. Earth never rushes these changes. It allows them to happen gradually, giving life time to adjust and survive. Ice ages themselves arrive quietly. Snow falls, glaciers grow, and ice spreads outward from the poles. Sea levels drop slowly as water is stored in ice. When the planet warms again, ice retreats just as calmly, releasing water back into oceans. These vast changes feel dramatic to us, but to Earth, they are part of a familiar rhythm. Deserts expand and shrink over time, responding to slow shifts in wind and rainfall. Regions that are dry today were once green, and places covered in forest were once underwater. Climate reminds us that landscapes are temporary states, pauses in a much longer story. The atmosphere balances heat through gentle feedbacks. Clouds reflect sunlight, ice brightens the surface, vegetation absorbs carbon. These processes do not act suddenly. They respond slowly, stabilizing the planet over time. Earth science shows us a system designed for calm correction, not chaos. Volcanic eruptions can briefly cool the planet by releasing particles into the air. These particles reflect sunlight, lowering temperatures for a few years before settling. Even powerful events leave only soft, temporary marks on Earth's long climate story. Night after night, season after season, Earth records its conditions without judgment. Climate is not emotional. It is patient, steady, and deeply connected to time. It flows forward, carrying the planet through change with measured steps. As this section fades, Earth continues remembering, storing warmth and cold, rain and dryness, light and shadow. The climate breathes slowly, guided by forces older than memory itself, preparing the planet for whatever gentle changes lie ahead. Beneath the quiet surface of Earth lies a world that is rarely seen but always active. Layers of soil, rock, and heat stretch downward for thousands of kilometers, forming the planet's hidden structure. This underground world moves slowly, almost dreamlike, shaping everything above it without ever being noticed. The outermost layer, the crust, feels solid and unchanging beneath our feet. Yet it is thin compared to the vastness below, like a fragile skin floating on deeper forces. This crust is broken into large pieces that drift slowly across the planet, carried by motions far beneath the surface. These movements are so gradual that they feel like stillness. Below the crust lies the mantle, a thick layer of hot rock that flows slowly over millions of years. It is not liquid like water, but soft enough to move under pressure. The mantle's slow circulation carries heat upward, driving the motion of tectonic plates. This process is steady and patient, never rushed. Deeper still, the outer core flows gently, made of molten metal moving in silent currents. This movement creates Earth's magnetic field, an invisible shield that protects the planet from harmful solar energy. Without it, the surface would be exposed and harsh. The core works quietly, guarding Earth without being seen. At the very center, the inner core rests, solid and incredibly dense. It remains stable despite intense heat, held together by immense pressure. This calm center anchors the planet, providing balance and consistency. Earth has a heart that does not beat quickly, but steadily. Heat rises slowly from the interior, escaping through cracks, volcanoes, and the ocean floor. This heat is not wasted. It fuels movement, renews land, and supports life in the deepest oceans, where sunlight never reaches. Even in darkness, Earth provides energy gently. Minerals grow deep underground, shaped by heat and pressure. Crystals form slowly, their patterns repeating with perfect patience. These hidden creations may take millions of years to complete, yet they form without urgency. When discovered, they carry the quiet weight of time. Caves form when water dissolves rock, drop by drop, century by century. Stalactites and stalagmites grow so slowly that their movement cannot be seen. Each drop leaves behind a tiny trace, building stone from water. These spaces feel peaceful because they move at Earth's natural pace. Earthquakes, when they occur, are brief moments in an otherwise calm system. They release energy that has been building for decades or centuries. Afterward, the planet settles again, returning to its slow rhythm. Earth does not remain restless. The underground world reminds us that stillness does not mean inactivity. Beneath silence, processes continue, shaping the future gently. Earth science teaches that patience and persistence are powerful forces, working best when they are unseen. As we drift further into rest, the hidden Earth continues its quiet labor. Layers move, heat flows, and the planet remains balanced, carrying the surface gently through time, supported by the calm strength below. Life on Earth rests quietly upon a foundation built by tiny, unseen workers. These silent builders shape the planet in ways that feel gentle and slow, yet their impact is vast. In Earth science, life and land are deeply connected, moving together in calm cooperation over time. Long before large plants and animals appeared, microscopic organisms began shaping Earth's surface. In ancient oceans, tiny life forms created layers of sediment as they lived and died. Over millions of years, these layers hardened into rock, forming vast limestone beds and chalk cliffs. Life became stone, resting quietly beneath future generations. Soil itself is alive, though it feels still beneath our feet. Billions of microorganisms move slowly through it, breaking down organic matter and releasing nutrients. These processes happen without sound, without urgency. Soil forms gradually, turning lifeless rock into a place where roots can rest and grow. Plants play a gentle but powerful role in shaping the land. Their roots spread through cracks in rock, slowly widening them. When plants die, they return minerals to the soil, enriching it. Forests grow, fall, and return again, each cycle softening the land and stabilizing the surface. Coral reefs grow in warm, shallow seas, built by tiny animals working together over centuries. Each coral adds a small piece, creating vast underwater structures that protect coastlines and support life. Reefs grow slowly, layer by layer, like dreams forming one thought at a time. Life also shapes the atmosphere. Plants absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen, maintaining balance in the air. This exchange happens quietly, leaf by leaf, breath by breath. Earth's atmosphere is shaped not by force, but by steady cooperation between living things and the planet. Even the colors of the landscape reflect life's influence. Green forests, golden fields, and dark soils all exist because living organisms interact with sunlight, water, and minerals. These colors change with seasons, creating visual rhythms that calm the mind and signal time passing. Dead life continues to work after it rests. Fallen leaves, plants, and animals decompose slowly, returning nutrients to the ground. Nothing is wasted. Earth recycles gently, turning endings into beginnings. This constant renewal keeps the planet balanced and peaceful. Over long periods, life influences climate. Forests affect rainfall, plankton affect carbon levels, and vegetation alters temperature. These changes happen gradually, shaping Earth's environment without sudden disruption. Life and climate move together, adjusting calmly. At night, life slows. Plants rest, animals quiet down, and microorganisms continue their unseen work. Earth does not sleep completely, but it shifts into a softer mode. The silent builders continue shaping the planet while the surface grows still. As this section closes, it becomes clear that Earth's beauty and balance are not built by grand actions alone. They are created by countless small, patient efforts, repeated over time. Life builds Earth quietly, and Earth holds life gently, moving together through the long, peaceful story of the planet. Mountains are Earth's quiet giants, rising slowly over millions of years. They do not demand attention, yet they shape climates, rivers, and ecosystems with gentle patience. Unlike human structures, which are built quickly and fade, mountains grow and crumble on a timescale that feels endless, like Earth's own heartbeat. The formation of mountains begins when tectonic plates meet. One plate pushes gently against another, folding the land upward. This movement is almost imperceptible, occurring at the speed fingernails grow. Over time, these folds rise higher and higher, creating peaks that seem eternal. To witness a mountain form is to witness patience in action. Erosion works alongside mountains, softening their edges over eons. Wind brushes against rock, rain slides down slopes, and ice slowly sculpts cliffs. Valleys form, rivers carve paths, and jagged edges become smooth. Mountains are never still. They breathe, slowly, with each passing millennium. Glaciers add their quiet artistry. Sheets of ice creep down slopes, dragging rocks and soil along. They polish stone, carve basins, and leave behind landscapes that are both gentle and grand. When glaciers retreat, lakes and fertile plains remain, evidence of time passing in silent motion. Mountains influence life in subtle ways. They guide rainfall, create microclimates, and shelter forests and animals. Even their shadows shape temperature and growth patterns. Life adapts gradually to these conditions, finding comfort in the slow rhythms set by peaks and valleys. Volcanoes, often hidden among mountains, add an element of transformation. Lava flows slowly at first, glowing softly, then cools into rock, adding height and form to the land. Though dramatic in effect, the process takes centuries to fully shape the landscape. Earth moves deliberately, never in haste. Snow and ice blanket mountains seasonally, creating a soft cover that melts and feeds rivers below. Water from melting snow travels slowly through streams and valleys, continuing the gentle cycle of life and land. The mountain, in its stillness, contributes to the ongoing rhythm of the planet. Minerals form in mountain ranges over millions of years. Crystals grow under pressure, veins of precious stones hidden deep within. These treasures are Earth's slow creations, offering beauty and resources for future generations, all formed without urgency. Even when mountains crumble, they do so gradually. Rock slides, landslides, and erosion reduce heights over millennia. Soil and sediments spread across plains, forming fertile ground. Mountains teach that endings are as calm and natural as beginnings. Standing quietly near a peak, one can feel the patient strength of Earth. Mountains are reminders of slow, persistent processes that shape the planet with care. They rise, fall, and endure, moving at a pace that encourages observation, reflection, and rest. As night settles over the land, mountains fade into shadow, holding the world beneath them like gentle guardians. Their slow, enduring presence mirrors Earth's eternal patience, a lullaby sung in stone, snow, and wind. Rivers are Earth's quiet storytellers, moving slowly across landscapes, carrying water, minerals, and memories from distant places. They do not hurry. They do not demand attention. Yet they shape valleys, nourish life, and connect mountains to oceans in a gentle, continuous rhythm. A river begins as a tiny trickle, often from melting snow or a hidden spring. At first, it is small, almost unnoticeable. But as it travels, it collects water from streams, rainfall, and underground flows. Each contribution is small, yet over time, the river grows. Its strength comes not from speed, but from persistence. Rivers carve their paths patiently. They bend, twist, and meander, following the land's contours rather than forcing a straight line. Over centuries, their flowing waters erode rock, deepen valleys, and deposit soil along floodplains. Every curve, every bend, is the result of gentle, persistent motion. Along riverbanks, life thrives in quiet abundance. Plants anchor soil with delicate roots, while animals sip and rest beside the water. Microorganisms work unseen, recycling nutrients and sustaining ecosystems. Rivers are not just channels of water, they are slow-moving lifelines, sustaining the planet without haste. Even when floods occur, they are temporary. Water rises and spreads, reshaping the land and leaving behind fertile sediment. Then, slowly, it recedes, leaving the valley renewed. Earth does not panic. It adjusts naturally, showing the power of patience in motion. Rivers eventually meet lakes or oceans, blending their waters without resistance. This final journey is as calm as the first drop in the spring. Rivers carry with them stories of mountains, glaciers, and rainforests, delivering them quietly to the seas. The sediment they transport becomes new land over millennia. Deltas grow slowly, islands emerge, and coastlines change. Rivers do not announce these changes with urgency. They occur gently, imperceptibly, over time. Even underground, rivers continue their work. Groundwater flows slowly through aquifers, traveling kilometers over centuries. This hidden water supports wells, springs, and ecosystems, quietly moving through stone, unseen but essential. Rivers reflect light and sky, creating calm visual rhythms. The gentle ripples, the soft reflections of clouds, and the slow movement of floating leaves invite stillness. Watching a river flow can feel like breathing with the planet itself. As night falls, rivers quiet down, their surfaces smooth, their currents hidden beneath darkness. They continue their slow journey, carrying water, history, and life with steady patience. The rhythm of rivers mirrors Earth's eternal pace, a flowing lullaby for the land and all who live upon it. Oceans cover most of Earth, vast and unending, stretching beyond sight. They move with a rhythm that is older than life itself, waves rising and falling, currents flowing, tides shifting, all in perfect patience. To observe the ocean is to witness time itself moving slowly, softly, and without urgency. Ocean water has traveled far before it reaches any shore. Some molecules were once part of ancient rivers, rainfall, or glaciers, cycling through clouds, streams, and oceans over millennia. Each drop carries the memory of Earth's long history, moving quietly and persistently. Currents flow beneath the surface, unseen but constant. Warm water travels slowly from the equator toward the poles, while colder water moves back toward the tropics. These movements regulate climate, carry nutrients, and sustain life. The oceans do not hurry. Their influence is slow, steady, and profound. Tides rise and fall in gentle repetition, guided by the moon's quiet pull. Each high tide is mirrored by a low, creating a rhythm that has existed for billions of years. Tides shape coastlines, nourish wetlands, and signal cycles of rest and activity for countless organisms. The ocean's heartbeat is subtle, yet unending. Waves, even during storms, follow patterns laid down by centuries of wind, water, and gravity. Each ripple, each crest, moves in a soft, predictable flow. Watching waves can feel like listening to the slow, comforting rhythm of Earth itself. Life in the ocean mirrors this calm. Coral reefs grow layer by layer, plankton drift with currents, and deep-sea creatures move in slow, deliberate motions. Even predators and prey move within the ocean's gentle rhythm, balancing action and stillness. The deepest parts of the ocean are the calmest. Sunlight never reaches these zones, yet life persists. Hydrothermal vents release heat and minerals, creating quiet pockets of energy where ecosystems thrive without haste. The deep sea is a reminder that even in darkness, patience sustains life. Oceans also hold Earth's memory. Ice ages, volcanic eruptions, and meteor impacts leave their mark in sediment layers. Marine fossils, tiny and delicate, preserve stories of life long gone. Oceans store these memories silently, like a journal no one ever reads aloud. Water evaporates from the ocean's surface, forming clouds and completing the slow cycle that links sea, sky, and land. The ocean gives and receives in endless repetition, a gentle system of balance and care. As night falls and the moon rises, oceans reflect silver light, waves whispering softly, tides moving quietly. The endless calm of the sea mirrors the patient rhythm of the planet itself. In their presence, the mind can rest, lulled by the slow, eternal story of Earth. Wind moves across Earth like an unseen hand, soft, gentle, and persistent. It carries warmth, coolness, moisture, and stories from distant lands. Though invisible, it shapes landscapes, guides weather, and touches life in subtle ways. In Earth science, wind is a quiet artist, sculpting the planet without urgency. Breezes begin softly, warmed by the sun or cooled by the ocean. Air rises in gentle currents, sinks elsewhere, and moves across plains and mountains. Most winds are slow, almost imperceptible, brushing leaves, rippling water, and carrying scents across distances. Even when they seem still, wind is always present. Wind shapes sand dunes in deserts, moving grains one by one. Over centuries, dunes shift, curl, and grow, creating landscapes that seem alive yet silent. Rocks are smoothed, cliffs shaped, and valleys carved slowly under wind's patient hand. Nothing is forced. Everything moves with gentle persistence. High-altitude winds, like jet streams, flow steadily across continents. They guide storms, shift clouds, and influence temperatures. Even the most powerful storms begin with calm air, slowly gathering energy before expressing it. Earth science teaches that motion often begins quietly before it is noticed. Leaves and trees respond to wind over long periods. Branches grow in patterns shaped by gentle pressure, bending without breaking. Forests sway softly, exchanging air and moisture, creating microclimates that stabilize the environment. Wind and life exist in quiet partnership. Even human structures are subtly shaped by wind. Coastal cliffs erode, hills wear down, and valleys deepen over millennia. Wind is a slow, patient sculptor, working invisibly yet leaving lasting effects. Rocks, soil, and water all bend to its quiet persistence. Ocean waves are guided by wind across thousands of kilometers. The surface ripples, forming currents and gentle swells. The rhythm of wind and water together is hypnotic, a natural lullaby that has existed since oceans first formed. Air carries seeds and spores, helping plants travel across continents. This slow migration of life ensures balance in ecosystems, allowing forests and fields to regenerate over centuries. The wind is an agent of renewal, always moving, always quiet. Sound travels through air, whispering the planet's secrets. Rustling leaves, distant waves, and soft gusts are all carried by wind, creating a constant, gentle soundtrack for the world. Even silence feels alive in its presence. At night, wind calms. Cool air drifts through valleys and across plains. The planet exhales softly, carrying warmth, moisture, and memory with it. Wind's rhythm is steady, unseen, and comforting, reminding all who listen that Earth moves with patience and grace. Volcanoes are Earth's slow, patient storytellers, rising from deep beneath the surface. They do not hurry, yet they reshape continents, create new land, and influence life with steady, deliberate energy. In Earth science, volcanoes are not just destructive, they are careful builders, sculpting the planet over millennia. Deep beneath the crust, molten rock gathers quietly. Pressure builds slowly, rising through cracks, yet the planet does not rush the process. Magma moves like a viscous, glowing river, shaping pathways that may take centuries to complete. When it reaches the surface, it flows gently at first, warming the land without haste. Lava cools gradually, forming layers of rock that will endure for millions of years. Mountains grow, islands emerge, and fertile soil is created where once there was only bare stone. Volcanoes demonstrate patience. Creation often comes from heat, pressure, and long intervals of quiet activity. Volcanic gases escape into the air slowly, shaping the atmosphere over time. Carbon dioxide, water vapor, and other elements cycle between land, air, and oceans, influencing climate and life. The planet adjusts calmly, integrating each contribution without chaos. Even eruptions that seem sudden are part of a larger, slow rhythm. Magma, gas, and rock have been moving and accumulating for centuries before breaking the surface. Once released, Earth absorbs and adjusts, returning to balance. Volcanoes teach that even dramatic events can follow quiet preparation. Lava flows can travel long distances at a gentle pace. Rivers of molten rock glow softly under moonlight, their movement hypnotic, almost meditative. As lava cools, it solidifies into stone, leaving permanent reminders of patience and persistence. Volcanoes create rich soil that nourishes life. Forests and fields flourish in areas where eruptions have occurred centuries before. Life returns, slowly, as if respecting the calm pace of the planet's changes. The cycle of destruction and renewal repeats quietly, without haste or alarm. Hot springs and geysers are softer expressions of volcanic energy. Water heated beneath the surface rises slowly, sometimes erupting in gentle bursts, creating pools that reflect light and sky. These natural features provide warmth, sustenance, and calm beauty to the surrounding landscape. Volcanoes are also archives of Earth's history. Layers of ash, stone, and lava record ancient eruptions, preserving evidence of climate, life, and change. Studying these layers is like reading the planet's diary, written in fire and patience. As night settles over volcanic peaks, cooled lava glimmers under starlight, silent reminders of Earth's quiet, persistent energy. Fire and stone coexist, creation and rest intertwined. Volcanoes teach that Earth moves slowly, deliberately, and with timeless grace. Beneath the surface, Earth is never completely still. Tectonic plates shift and slide, moving at speeds slower than the growth of fingernails. These movements are invisible to the eye, yet over millions of years, they shape mountains, valleys, and oceans. Earthquakes are rare moments when this hidden motion becomes noticeable, a brief whisper of the planet's deeper activity. Most tectonic activity is calm and gradual. Plates drift past each other, collide, and pull apart without making noise. Mountains rise slowly, continents move, and oceans widen, all without drawing attention. The planet's work is persistent, patient, and quiet. Earthquakes occur when stress built over decades or centuries is released suddenly. Though dramatic to humans, these events are only brief pauses in the continuous flow of the planet's slow adjustments. Afterwards, Earth resumes its patient rhythm, continuing its invisible labor beneath the surface. Fault lines are the quiet boundaries where plates meet. Some are peaceful for centuries, while others may shift unexpectedly. Rivers, valleys, and landscapes align themselves along these hidden seams, shaped by processes too slow to notice until a momentary tremor occurs. Volcanic eruptions and earthquakes are often linked. Magma rising from below can push plates and create pressure. When the energy is released, land shifts and lava flows, but even these dramatic events unfold according to Earth's slow timeline. The planet moves with intent, never hurried, never careless. Even small tremors have lasting effects. They reshape river courses, change soil composition, and gently adjust ecosystems. Life responds slowly, adapting over generations to the subtle shifts of the land. The quiet persistence of tectonics ensures Earth remains balanced over eons. Earthquakes remind us that the ground beneath our feet is alive, slowly breathing, bending, and shifting. The planet works unseen, and only occasionally do humans witness the results. Yet these rare moments are part of a vast, continuous process that has existed for billions of years. Faults and folds in rock layers tell stories of tectonic motion long past. Geologists can read these silent records, uncovering the patient history of continents and oceans. Even when the land appears still, it carries memories of slow, deliberate motion deep within. The planet's interior heat drives these forces gently, yet powerfully. Magma circulates, plates glide, and landscapes transform. Everything occurs over vast timescales, allowing life to exist, adapt, and flourish on the surface. As night falls, and Earth rotates quietly beneath the stars, tectonic movements continue unseen. Mountains inch upward, valleys stretch, and oceans adjust their boundaries. The planet moves in a slow, deliberate rhythm, reminding us that beneath silence lies endless, patient energy. Glaciers are rivers of ice, moving with patience so slow that their progress is almost imperceptible. They carve mountains, shape valleys, and leave behind landscapes that appear timeless. In Earth science, glaciers are gentle artists, working over millennia, sculpting the planet in silent, deliberate motion. A glacier begins as snow, layer upon layer, pressed over centuries into dense ice. Each snowfall adds weight, slowly compressing the layers below. Over time, this ice begins to flow, creeping downhill under its own mass, moving at a pace measured in meters per year. Yet in this slowness lies extraordinary power. Glaciers shape mountains through abrasion. Rocks frozen into the ice scrape against surfaces, smoothing peaks and carving valleys. Cirques, U-shaped valleys, and fjords are all the result of patient, invisible effort. No forceful impact is needed. Time itself sculpts the land. As glaciers move, they transport enormous amounts of rock and soil. Moraines until are deposited along the edges and terminus, forming ridges and plains. These deposits are fertile grounds for life, allowing forests and meadows to emerge once the ice retreats. Creation and rest coexist in glacier landscapes. Glacial meltwaters feed rivers, lakes, and groundwater, connecting ice to the larger water cycle. Even as ice appears motionless from a distance, it sustains ecosystems far from its frozen source. Life depends on glaciers' slow, steady contribution. During ice ages, glaciers expand over continents, reshaping coastlines and altering climates. When temperatures rise, they retreat quietly, leaving behind polished rocks, lakes, and rich soils. Their advance and retreat are like breaths, gentle yet powerful. Glaciers also preserve history. Layers of ice trap air bubbles, dust, and volcanic ash, recording Earth's climate over thousands of years. Scientists can read these frozen archives, discovering patterns of warmth, cold, and atmospheric composition. Ice is Earth's memory, formed slowly, preserved carefully. Even small glaciers work tirelessly. Mountain glaciers carve delicate valleys, create waterfalls, and feed streams that ripple through forests. Their subtle motion is enough to sustain landscapes and ecosystems without urgency. Glaciers teach that patience and persistence can create grandeur. They show how slow movement, when sustained over time, shapes the world with calm authority. Mountains, valleys, and rivers all bear witness to this quiet, enduring labor. As night falls over icy peaks, glaciers glimmer under starlight, their slow motion almost hypnotic. They remind us that even the coldest, hardest places have life, movement, and a rhythm that is gentle, patient, and eternal. Earth's seasons are a quiet rhythm, a soft cycle that moves with the planet's tilt and orbit. They unfold slowly, shaping climates, landscapes, and life without hurry. Spring, summer, autumn, and winter arrive in gentle transitions, each one blending seamlessly into the next, like pages turning in a calm, endless book. Spring emerges quietly. Snow melts, rivers swell, and plants awaken. Buds stretch slowly toward the sunlight, leaves unfurl, and flowers bloom one petal at a time. Animals respond gently, emerging from hibernation or migrating back to familiar grounds. Life does not rush. It follows the soft cues of warming days and lengthening light. Summer brings warmth gradually. Sunlight lingers longer, oceans absorb more heat, and fields shimmer in gentle golden light. Days stretch lazily, inviting rest, growth, and abundance. Crops ripen slowly, insects buzz softly, and the world hums in quiet productivity. Even heat is tempered by breezes and shaded forests, never harsh for long. Autumn arrives with subtle color. Leaves shift from green to warm shades of amber, crimson, and gold. The air cools softly, signaling rest. Animals gather and prepare. Trees shed what is no longer needed, and landscapes adjust to slower days. Change is gentle, like a whispered suggestion, not an urgent command. Winter descends calmly. Snow drifts settle on plains, ice coats rivers, and nights stretch long. The planet rests. Life slows, conserving energy, waiting for warmth and growth to return. Even in stillness, Earth is alive, preparing, protecting, and balancing the world quietly beneath a frozen blanket. Seasons are driven by Earth's orbit and tilt, subtle forces that have existed for billions of years. The sun's energy interacts with the planet in predictable, gentle ways, guiding life and climate without forcing abrupt change. Each shift is measured, precise, and patient. Oceans, forests, and glaciers respond to the seasonal cycle gradually. Rivers rise and fall, plants bloom and die, ice expands and retreats. The slow timing ensures that life can adapt, recover, and thrive. Seasons teach patience through repetition, showing that slow, predictable changes are often more powerful than sudden events. Even humans feel the comfort of seasons. Long days in summer invite activity, while long nights in winter invite rest. Nature moves in rhythm, and we move with it, often without noticing. Seasons create a subtle connection between life and the planet's steady rotation around the sun. At night, as temperatures drop and light fades, Earth rests within its seasonal rhythm. The cycle continues silently, unseen by most, yet shaping every living thing. Spring will return, summer will follow, autumn will arrive, and winter will rest, an eternal, soothing pattern. The seasons remind us that life is a series of slow, gentle transitions. Each moment is temporary, each phase leads to the next, and patience guides all motion on Earth. Deserts are Earth's slow storytellers, landscapes shaped by heat, wind, and time. They may seem empty at first glance, but beneath the sand and rock lies a gentle, persistent rhythm. Life exists quietly, and the land itself moves gradually, forming dunes, valleys, and canyons over millennia. Sand is the desert's soft brush, moved patiently by wind. Dunes shift imperceptibly, grain by grain, creating patterns that change with every breeze. Some dunes travel kilometers over centuries, rising and falling without urgency. Even the desert's apparent stillness is filled with slow motion. Rocks in deserts bear the marks of time. Wind erodes cliffs and boulders slowly, shaping arches, mesas, and canyons. Rainfall, though rare, carves valleys and deposits nutrients. Each shape is the result of gentle persistence, a reminder that even the harshest landscapes are formed patiently. Life in deserts follows the same slow rhythm. Plants conserve water, growing roots deep and wide, waiting for rare rain. Animals move mostly at dawn or dusk, resting during the heat of the day. Even unseen microbes thrive quietly beneath the surface, recycling nutrients and maintaining balance. Oases are pockets of calm in these lands. Water stored underground rises slowly to the surface, supporting vegetation and life. They are rare, but they flourish with patience, showing that even small resources can sustain life over long periods. Deserts expand and contract naturally over thousands of years. Climate shifts, wind patterns, and seasonal rains slowly change their size and shape. These movements are imperceptible day to day, yet they leave lasting marks across the continents. Sunsets in deserts are gentle spectacles. The low angle of the sun stretches shadows, paints dunes with gold and pink, and cools the air slowly. Night brings quiet relief. Temperatures drop, life awakens in subtle ways, and the desert rests under the stars. Sandstorms may seem sudden, but even they are the result of long-term wind patterns. They move grains and shape surfaces with gentle force, not chaos. After passing, the desert is left renewed, with forms slightly altered but the rhythm unchanged. Even in its apparent harshness, the desert teaches patience. The slow accumulation of wind, sand, and occasional rain builds beauty and balance. It is a quiet teacher of time, persistence, and adaptation. As night falls, the desert breathes calmly. Stars glitter above, dunes shimmer faintly, and the world slows to a near standstill. Patience reigns here, reminding all who observe that stillness is as powerful as motion, and quiet shapes the planet just as surely as force. The night sky above Earth is a quiet companion, reflecting the planet's slow, steady rhythms. Stars twinkle softly, constellations drift across the heavens, and the moon casts gentle light over land and sea. Earth science shows that night is more than darkness. It is a time of rest, reflection, and subtle motion. As the sun sets, the planet cools gradually. Shadows stretch, the air slows, and life moves more quietly. No sudden change occurs. Rather, temperature, light, and energy shift gently, signaling rest. Night is Earth's lullaby, calming the planet and everything upon it. Stars appear one by one, their light traveling across space for thousands of years before reaching our eyes. Each tiny point is a reminder that time is vast and patient. The universe moves slowly, and Earth rests within this cosmic rhythm, secure and steady. The moon influences the planet in subtle ways. Tides rise and fall, guided by its quiet pull. Even humans, plants, and animals respond to its presence, adjusting behaviors with gentle precision. Nighttime is a soft dance between Earth and sky. Planets, distant and faint, follow slow orbits, moving imperceptibly across centuries. They are silent reminders of motion that is continuous yet unhurried. From the perspective of time, Earth's nightly rotation is just a small, graceful step in a much larger journey. Meteor showers streak across the sky, brief flashes in the calm. Though sudden in appearance, they are part of a long cycle, traveling for millions of years before touching the planet. Their fleeting beauty reminds us of the gentle patience of the cosmos. Auroras paint the polar skies in soft greens and pinks, glowing like watercolors. They are born from solar particles meeting the atmosphere, moving with invisible currents. The display is calm, almost hypnotic, reminding us that even energy can move gracefully. Nighttime in forests, deserts, oceans, and mountains is peaceful. Creatures rest or move slowly, rivers and glaciers continue their quiet work, and the planet breathes. Every system slows, yet nothing stops. Earth continues in gentle, constant motion. Even in darkness, the planet's hidden systems, tectonics, glaciers, ocean currents, wind, carry on softly. Life, water, and stone continue to interact in imperceptible rhythms, sustaining balance while the world sleeps. As night deepens, Earth rotates calmly beneath the stars. Light and shadow, warmth and cool, motion and rest. Everything moves in harmony. The night sky is a quiet witness, a gentle guide, and a reminder that patience, rhythm, and stillness are as powerful as visible motion. As the final section unfolds, Earth itself feels like a living, breathing lullaby. Mountains rise slowly, rivers flow patiently, glaciers creep silently, and oceans stretch endlessly, all moving at a pace older than memory. Every system, from wind to tectonics, from soil to atmosphere, works in quiet rhythm, creating a world both alive and serene. The planet's rotation carries day into night, sunlight into shadow, warmth into coolness. Clouds drift across skies, bringing gentle rain that nourishes life. Rivers carry water from peaks to seas, weaving a path that is soft, continuous, and unhurried. Everything flows in harmony, and the world breathes with calm precision. Life on Earth thrives within this steady rhythm. Trees grow slowly, oceans teem quietly, and animals move with patience. Even microscopic organisms labor unseen, shaping soil, water, and air. The entire planet is a cooperative symphony, each part contributing to a calm, balanced whole. Glaciers carve valleys, wind sculpts deserts, and volcanoes slowly build mountains. Every movement takes centuries, sometimes millennia. Change is present but subtle, never rushed. The planet reminds us that true power lies in persistence and patience, in motion that is steady rather than frantic. Night deepens and stars emerge above. The moon's glow softens the land, guiding tides and influencing life. The sky mirrors Earth's calm, reflecting its slow rotations and subtle motions. In this light, the world feels safe, rhythmic, and eternal. Water continues its endless cycle: evaporation, clouds, rain, rivers, and oceans, connecting land, sea, and sky. Air drifts, carrying temperature, moisture, and whispers of life across continents. Even the smallest breeze is part of a larger system, moving unseen yet profoundly impactful. Earth's memory is everywhere, in ice cores, tree rings, rocks, and sediments. Every layer tells a story of time, patience, and gentle persistence. The planet records its history without urgency, preserving balance and continuity across billions of years. As humans or creatures rest, Earth itself rests yet never truly stops. Hidden forces continue their work, tectonics shift imperceptibly, ocean currents circulate, and glaciers inch forward. Life is supported in this quiet motion, carried by rhythms older than thought. The world invites calm. Observing it, we feel the steady heartbeat beneath our feet, the flowing water, the whispering air, the shifting stars. Time slows, breaths deepen, and the mind is soothed by the eternal, gentle movements of the planet. In this final lullaby, Earth sings its endless song, a story of patience, balance, and quiet endurance. Mountains, oceans, wind, glaciers, and life all participate in a soft, harmonious rhythm. As the night stretches and the sun waits for its return, the planet rests in calm, eternal motion, inviting all who dwell upon it to slow, breathe, and drift gently into sleep. The story ends here, yet Earth continues. Its lullaby plays on, timeless and soothing, a reminder that the world moves gracefully, patiently, and forever in harmony.